Hello friends, and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully this will get going. The wood's quite damp, so I smothered it with birch bark. And the wind has changed direction as well. But I thought I would dig out the fire pit today, sit down, have a coffee and a little chat with you all. Very smoky. I wanted to talk about being off-grid, living off-grid. What does that even mean, and why do we choose to do it? Hopefully we'll have a nice warm fire in a minute. So I discussed briefly on the last video, if you remember, about what off-grid is. And all it really means is just being disconnected from the utility grid. That's it, you know. But to me it means quite a bit more than that. You know, the utility thing, that is just a minor part of it. I probably should have made some notes really, because I have all these things that I want to say, and as soon as I turn the camera on I forget. That's one of my greatest abilities. Blow away. As you can see, the weather is interesting today. Very windy, making life a little bit challenging, but we shall prevail. That's starting to look a little bit more like a fire, isn't it? Let's get some bigger logs going. So to me, off-grid has always been far more than just getting your power for free from the sun and things like that. Although that is lovely and it's a great part about this lifestyle. But the grid is a lot more than that for me anyway. I see it as, you know, the normal way of life that everyone is taught from an early age, right from school. It's sort of ingrained into you, isn't it? You're getting smoked out there, aren't you? You know, the career, the mortgage, all of that, working until you're 65 and then retire and having 15, 20 years, if you're lucky, of free time to enjoy your decrepit body that doesn't work properly anymore. To me, that is the bigger picture of the grid, and that is the thing that I definitely want to get off, and I've strived to do that for quite a while now. And I guess I want to make these videos because, you know, it's not to show off or anything. I mean, we don't live a lavish lifestyle or have fancy things or anything like that. It may appear that way, you know, when I show clips of in the house and there's fancy motorbikes and stuff, but if you know the story and the reality behind these things, it's a lot less, you know, exciting, I guess, than it might seem. Yeah, they look nice now, but and like all of the tools and things, I'm 30 now and I've collected those through my whole life really. It's not just like we moved here and just bought everything brand new. Had to pay to get most of that stuff shipped over from the UK. But anyway, we're getting off track. What I'm trying to say is, what we're doing here is very achievable for anyone, I believe. It's not some mystical life that you can only watch on YouTube. Anyone can do it. You just have to want it enough, because there are sacrifices you make when you choose to live this way. You know, you have to do things slightly differently, and that's fine. I mean, we're just beginning here really. We don't even have a shower at the minute. We hardly have anything, but we're at the start of our journey on this plot, so there's a long way to go yet. Lots of things that I need to create and figure out, but that's fine because I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that. So it's not a burden to me. Right now, we don't even have running water here. Well, we do, but it's frozen because it's not geared for winter. It comes into the bottom of the house there and it just freezes. So a mission for this coming summer is to get that dug out and piped into the barn so we have running water year round. That will be nice. That's definitely a priority for this year. But yeah, there's always some sacrifices to be made when you live this way, but I think the benefits far outweigh, the inconveniences, if you like. For me personally anyway. Marie is also, pretty much on the same page as me, but I don't want to speak for her. If she ever wants to discuss these things, then she can do that. I don't like speaking on her behalf, but obviously, we're here and she likes it, basically. I've always been different, right from an early age. Even in school, I hated school. Well, from the age where I sort of started to become more aware of things, high school age, what's that, like 13, 14 or something. I hated it. I felt like I was trapped in a cage. And I've always sort of been a bit of an outcast and done things differently. But it was only at the ripe old age of 20 or 21 when I got cancer. That's when it was like a real wake-up call, if you like, for me. I probably know what you're thinking there, sorry to hear that and stuff. That's the normal reaction, isn't it? But to be honest, for me, I'm glad that it happened. Although it was miserable, I'm glad that I got it, because it just changed. It's like a switch flicked in my head, and it just changed everything. I'd never really known what I wanted to do, what my place was in terms of career and that kind of thing. I'd done all sorts, various like construction jobs, and I thought I was destined to be a motorbike mechanic. I worked in a shop, in a garage for a little while, and realised I hated it because it was making me not love bikes anymore, which was the complete opposite of what it was supposed to do. So I sacked that off. I never really knew what I was supposed to do, because it's that normal mindset, isn't it, of everyone goes off from school and goes down a path and finds their career and gets a house and mortgage and kids and wife and all of that, the normal way of life. But it was having those experiences that I had that made me realise that, without getting too depressing here, like any day can be your last day on Earth. As morbid as that sounds, it can. That's a fact. You could step out of your front door and get ran over by a truck. That is just the sort of sorry state of how fragile human beings really are. Everybody knows that fact, but I don't think many people understand what that actually means. The fact that you could not be here tomorrow, what does that actually mean? What should you take from that knowledge? It's sad that it generally takes a traumatic event or a loss of a loved one or something to kickstart your brain into thinking about that properly, and what it did for me, because obviously I can only talk from my experience. It made me see the value of time, of your own time, my own time to sit out here and hopefully have a coffee in a minute on a Monday lunchtime when, I don't know, 90% of people in the world were waking up this morning like sort of dreading going to work, and you know, granted some people love their job, and this is the difficult thing about this topic, is not everybody wants more. You know, some people are very content with the life they have, and that's fine. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to change their life drastically or anything like that. All I want to do is show people that there is an alternative should they choose to follow that path or a different path, because a lot of people don't realise there is. You know, a lot of people, most people are so locked in to that grid that they don't think there's anything outside of it. It's, you know, they probably see videos like this and other things we've made here and think, oh, that's lovely, isn't it? And then just carry on with their day and don't even think twice about it. But there absolutely is alternatives to the normal way to live. And if you need any more evidence of that, like, look at me. I'm just a normal guy from Leicestershire, South Leicestershire, is where I was born. It's where I grew up. Same village. You know, the normal path of pretty much everybody in England. And yet here I am now sitting in our own property in Sweden. Granted, Sweden isn't for everyone. I'm not saying the goal is to live in Sweden. We are here because we love winter and we wanted to live somewhere where, you know, this. But people's dreams are different. But yeah, I'm sitting here now and you're watching me, and I'm only here through the choices I've made. You know, someone didn't pick me up and put me here and just give everything. I had to make it, to make those changes that led us to here. This wood is very smoky on the eyeballs, I'm not going to lie. I reckon we're about ready to stick this in though. Make a little spot for us. I reckon down there will be as good as anywhere. Can we do it without causing a scene? Maybe. Have to keep an eye on it. Yeah, we also love nature and the peace and quiet, the lack of people, the space, the wilderness, all of the things that Sweden scores a 10 out of 10 for. So that's why we chose to settle down here. And the prices of property as well, that's one of the draws, how cheap everything is, because it's so remote, and you know, you've got to live a certain way to be able to live here and be okay with things like getting a metre of snow overnight, which some people aren't. So, but yeah, it's going back to, I always knew that, you know, I never wanted to have a mortgage and sign up to that burden that people carry around with them all of their life, and they then have to, you know, be in full-time employment and give away 8-9 hours of their day every day to be able to afford to pay the mortgage and pay for the finance on the car and things like that. And you're just tied for your whole life, right up till, you know, 65, is it? 70 when you retire? I don't know. You're just tied to giving all of that time. You remember, time is the most valuable thing you own. Forget money. Money is just a tool. Like, you use it to do things, and you need it to eat if you don't want to find your own food. And money is good. Money helped us do this as quickly as we did. But money is definitely not the goal of life, to just earn as much money as possible. Because the thing you trade for that money is your time. And that's a bad deal, let me tell you. That really is a bad deal. A financial advisor or a business orientated person will tell me I'm talking rubbish there, but I believe anyway that it's not a good deal. Giving your time to someone else just to essentially make them richer so that you can come out of it at the end of the month with, you know, a small fraction of their wealth, and then you've just got to throw 70-80% of that money at your house for the mortgage and for the bills, and you just get left with this little bit at the end to then go and do it all again the next month. That's never been a way that I want to live. I think we're just about boiling. Oh, my coffee cup's stuck to the chair. Oh dear. In fact, I put the coffee and a little bit of milk in here, and it's frozen. So it'll soon warm up when we get this in there. Let's put it on here. Oh yeah, we're definitely boiling. Oh, nice bit of wood in there. There we go. We've only got a few bits of wood and charcoal. That's good. Finally, been waiting for this. That's better. That is better. As predicted, I've got lost in the weeds and just gone off on a tangent, but I just felt the need to pick the camera up today and just talk about stuff. So I guess then the answer to the question of why do I choose to live off-grid, to live alternatively, pretty much is just because I value time way more than I could ever value money. I think that's probably the best answer that I can give you. Time is precious. You should spend it wisely, doing what you love, doing what you enjoy, and not just trying to make the number in your bank bigger. We've discussed topics along these lines on Patreon a lot over the years in the sort of enclosed community on there, but I've decided I'd like to try and reach more people. So, because as I said, a lot of people don't even know that there is another choice, and that's sad. So if I can do one decent thing with my life now, it's to try and show people there's another way. I think that's probably my cue to sign off, because now I'm getting hammered. Oh, burning damp wood is not the way when you want to have a campfire. But yeah, it's because it's been sat in here since the spring and it's got damp, over-seasoned. I hope you've enjoyed this little chat. And if you did, maybe we can have some more in the future. Let me know. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are and your experiences of things. I love hearing, you know, other versions of stuff from people, their experiences, because everybody's different at the end of the day, and I can only talk from my experience. I'm no expert. My experiences will be vastly different to the next person. That's just how it works. But yeah, I'm going to sign off now, so I'll see you all soon. Catch you in a bit.